Hey guys, Subzikid here, and in today's tutorial in After Effects I'm going to be showing you how to create some bouncing text which looks a bit like this. It's not actually this slow, it's just RAM previewing like right now. Don't know why it's RAM previewing so slow. Okay, so you can just see it bouncing, so it actually looks something a bit like that, and that is pretty cool I think, and it's really easy to do. Like if you've ever tried to do this before, like I was like not that long ago, I was trying to do something like this in this edit I was doing, and it takes ages to keyframe it and it still doesn't really come out properly. So I googled an expression, if there was an expression, and I found this one, inertial bounce expression. I'll post a link to this website in the description. It's Motion Graphics Exchange, and it works, and you basically just make an adjustment layer, and what you do is after you basically paste that expression in on the slider control, and you literally just add two keyframes and it just does all of it. So it's really simple. So what you want to do is just get some text or whatever and make all the layers 3D, and then what you want to do is click on your first text and hit Y on the keyboard, and basically it'll enable this pan behind tool, and if you actually look closely you can see this crosshair over here, this little thing here, and basically what this is basically the hinge or like pivot point, so a hinge basically. So if you move this up here and bring up the rotation, you can see it's gonna rotate on that point there. It's going to rotate on that point. So we want this type of animation where it goes like boing, 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 like that. So you can basically, you just put the what's it called again? The crosshair thing. You basically just put the crosshair thing above the text over there. I'll do the same for cool as well. So I'll put that about above there. And on bouncing, I'm gonna put it there, so then on the Y rotation we can make it come in, go boing like that. And on text I'm gonna put this underneath, so on the rotation it's gonna go like boing like that. And on tutorial I'll put it down as well, so we'll do the same sort of rotation thingy mobobby, yeah. And after you've set those anchor point things, you want to hit Control Alt Y, which makes an adjustment layer, and hit enter and rename it to bouncer or controls or something like that, because basically this is the adjustment layer which is going to control the bouncing for everything. And what you want to do is click on bouncer, the adjustment layer, go to effect, expression controls, and slider controller, slider control like that. And now it's time to go to your web browser, click the link in the description and copy the inertial bounce expression, the whole thing, and hit Control C to copy it, and then click on that stopwatch next to slider, and then over here Control V and paste it there, and then that's that. Okay, so after you've done that, just hit U on the bouncer, so we'll bring up that slider over there. If you just drag this up to create some room, select all of your texts and hit R on the keyboard, so we'll bring up all the rotations and orientations. And basically we're just going to parent the text rotations. So for tutorial we want the X rotation to be the moving one, like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to alt click on the X rotation, grab this little pick whip tool here and drag it to the slider of the bouncer over there. We're going to do the same for text, So alt click on the X rotation, grab the pick whip, drag it to bouncer slider to the slider control there. For bouncing, we're not going to use the X rotation, because the X rotation makes it go in like that, but I want it to go in like that, so that's the Y rotation. So for bouncing, I'm going to alt click on the Y rotation, grab the pick whip and take it over to the slider. For cool, I'm going to use the X rotation, so alt click on the stopwatch, drag to slider, and the same for pretty. I'm going to use the X rotation, grab the pick whip, drag it to the slider, and after you've done that you can just close all of these down and go like that again. Okay, so after that's done, you want to, on bouncer, hit U again and go in about a second, make a keyframe on the slider and change it to about 100, maybe a bit more, so until all the text is gone off the screen. So there, and then say go forward about a second and set them all and set the slider to 0. So now if you see, it should go boing like that. So let's just cross that off and change this to 59.94 because that's the frame rate, and let's quickly RAM preview this. Boing. So it bounces for quite a while, and if you just RAM preview that, it looks quite cool, I think, bouncing pretty nicely there. But say if you want, like, say these texts to come in at different times, you, like, say if you want pretty and tutorial to come in a bit later than text and cool, the way you do that is click on bouncer and hit Control D to duplicate it, and you get bouncer 2, and get pretty, hit U, and if you click on bouncer 2 and on the X rotation of pretty, drag the pick whip and drag it to the slider of bouncer 2, not bouncer 1, bouncer 2, and do the same for tutorial. So hit U and just click on bouncer 2 and pick whip it to the slider of bouncer 2 like that. And basically what you do now is you just drag it out a bit, say about that much. So now if you look, it'll come in, but they come in a bit later like that. And that's it there. So don't know why it's RAM previewing so slowly. I think it's because I've been doing, I don't know, but so we're boing, so they come in a bit later like that. And basically if you just change around these keyframes, like bring it in, it will just come in a bit faster and stuff, and that's it really. So let's see, we're boing. If you want it to bounce differently, the way you do it is if you go on this expression here, if you go down to the amplitude, the frequency and the decay, I don't know what that is, just mess around with these figures here. Like if you just take away the numbers, don't bother taking away the commas and the colons. So excuse me, basically just change these numbers a bit, so like change the 0.5 to like something else, the 4 to something else. Like the frequency is probably how fast it bounces, the amplitude is probably how far it bounces, and the decay, I don't know what that is, but I know it changes something. So if you just mess around with those, it will probably bounce differently. I haven't tried that yet, but I know it will, because it's kind of common sense, I reckon. So you can just mess around with those 3 figures there and make it your own bounce. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. So if you have any problems, just message me or comment below. If you want a different tutorial, just comment below or message me. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.